Time for another super camera battle. The current leader in smartphone cameras, the mighty Mi 11 Ultra versus the much more affordable flagship killer wannabe, Realme GT. One thing I can promise, this video will be full of surprises, so let's get started. Hey, so great to meet you here. My name is Michael and I welcome you to subscribe to the channel. So, my dear smartphone fans, I'll be brutally honest since the very beginning, this may not be a very even battle, since price-wise we talk about a huge difference, $1,300 versus just $500. That's such a huge difference. At the price of Mi 11 Ultra, you can easily purchase the Realme GT plus the Sony ZV-1 camera, or just purchase a basic mirrorless camera with a rather basic glass. But definitely, Xiaomi's device seems to be one that should easily win, at least based on the specs. It rocks the 50-megapixel super large Samsung-made image sensor, while Realme's main camera sensor is the Sony IMX682, a 64-megapixel one. There's clear advantage on Xiaomi's side for the ultra-wide sensor, and there's a dedicated 5x telephoto versus just the software zoom on the Realme GT. So if you're looking to get all about these smartphones, please check the dedicated videos I've created for both of them. Also, I do recommend watching this video in resolution 1080p and above. For your convenience, remember that Mi 11 Ultra photos will be on the left and Realme GT on the right. All the samples, including some more shots or videos, you're gonna find linked in the description below. Also, as usual, we're gonna have two major parts in this video, testing most of their functions first at daylight and then in low light or night conditions. Diving into round 1, challenging scene where good dynamic range is a must. Obviously, much sharper on the Realme GT, and overall, I think it looks better. I'd agree if you say that it could be down to the color science, but let us zoom 4 times and we can clearly now see the brand of the air conditioner, made by Samsung, just like the made image sensor on the Mi 11 Ultra. But look at these blinds. You can actually see them on the Realme made photo, while the Mi device shows them as they're just curtains. Another shot. This already feels a lot better with the Mi device. But while the flowers look clearly better on the right-hand side of the screen, notice that there's less amount of sharpness on the left and it actually makes the image look nice and soft. Clearly more details on the right, but the photo on the left may seem nicer to some of you. Still, thanks to the detail advantages in both photos, in the first round, surprisingly, Realme GT has the edge. Ultra-wide-angle photo now, supposed to be an easy win for Mi 11 Ultra because of the a lot better hardware, but more vibrant colors, social media-like, seem to be on the right, and that's a Realme-made photo. But even the better colors cannot mask the lack of details if we zoom in. The difference in terms of quality is in favor of the Xiaomi device's camera, so the result gets now even. Next, we examine the 5x zoom option. I need to underline that in this mode, the Realme device has a huge disadvantage of only using cropped photo from the main camera, and there's dedicated hardware with optical image stabilization on the Mi 11 Ultra. So not much of need to comment, a lot better photo done by the Mi 11 Ultra, but we have to admit that the Realme GT actually looks good too. Next, we go for a few macro shots. For this round, I unfortunately forgot to take side-by-side examples, but this is anyways one of the weak sides of the Mi 11 Ultra. Just look at these masterpiece shots by Realme GT. I think it well deserves the round here. As for portrait mode, I think the photo on the left is much sharper, background blur is about the same, and I think that the way Mi 11 Ultra treats the forehead and the chin and separates them from the background looks more natural, so here's another win. As for video, both phones can record in 4K with image stabilization. However, it's a combo between optical and electronic for the Xiaomi device and just electronic on the Realme GT. To my surprise, the slightly sharper video on the right looks indeed better, and even further nicer colors which are enhancing the image, at least in my point of view. Important to know that due to the electronic image stabilization on the Realme device, the video has a crop factor by approximately 1.4, which is a lot. So unexpectedly, but Realme is in my opinion winning again. If we raise the bar and look at 4K 60 frames per second recordings from the main sensor, the difference is already huge. Feels as if the Mi 11 Ultra is on a gimbal, and it's not, it's just handheld. As for the ultra-wide image sensor, I've brought down both of them to 1080p with image stabilization. Clearly, if you want to make decent ultra-wide camera videos, Mi 11 Ultra is in its own league, almost makes devices like GoPro Hero series look redundant. To my surprise, the Realme device performed great in the slow motion test. It actually has better dynamic range, and the whole recording there is done at higher frame rate. Looks like Samsung still have some work to do about sensor readouts, so here's another point for the Realme GT.
Right, sometimes there's a microphone in both smartphones, and sadly there is no stabilization of the front camera when recording video. On the Realme device, we do have stabilization on the Mi 11 Ultra, so it's your task now to let me know in the comments below which microphone do you prefer, the one on the Xiaomi device or whatever Realme have designed with the Realme GT.
Let us switch now to low light performance. Here we're going to explore some night shots, or such that are taken at conditions with much less light. I know that these are probably the rounds which matter the most to you, my dear smartphone camera fans, so let's take a look at the main sensor quality again. Well, I think this is exactly where the large Samsung image sensor inside the Mi 11 Ultra starts to shine, or maybe not. Pay attention to the way the lamps are represented. A 4x zoom now, and actually the colors on the Realme GT are making it up for the lack of dynamic range, but I believe the overall better photo is on the left. Here's a second chance, and this time Realme GT takes it all. Notice these areas where the contrast between light and dark is actually better and slightly more detailed. Note that these shots are taken with the night photo mode, which uses a lot of software algorithms. Both of the phones are taking multiple shots in the background, and their camera apps stack these photos into one best image. Next image sensor to test, and Mi 11 Ultra is of course a lot better with the ultra-wide night shots. The sensor behind the ultra-wide lens here is IMX586, which is a very capable one. Used to be part of flagships a couple of years ago. Here's another shot, this time with a 5x low light zoom. Again, no chances for the Realme device. The dedicated telephoto lens inside Mi 11 Ultra is rock solid. Switching now to some video samples, we can all agree that having optical image stabilization is super helpful in low light conditions, especially when recording videos. In the next round, we observe the exactly same phenomenon, this time with even bigger difference. The much better hardware inside the Xiaomi device offers a lot better video recording performance in low light, and let us wrap it up with the last camera to try out, the front one. A not too good looking photo on the left, but right next to another not too good looking photo, but with more details, better dynamic range, a lot more details and much better colors, we give this point to the Xiaomi 11 Ultra. As for conclusion, a fun fact, the result has actually almost the same ratio as the price. With 11 versus 5 won rounds, Mi 11 Ultra is as expected the better shooting smartphone. But there have been a bunch of surprises. Although Realme GT has no optical image stabilization, it is a great smartphone for daytime outdoor photography, and also looks like the stock camera app on Mi 11 Ultra is not extracting the most out of the main image sensor, so Xiaomi obviously have some improvements to do on their image compression algorithms. What I definitely never expected, to see the Mi 11 Ultra losing in daytime main camera photos from a much older and smaller image sensor. This is exactly why image processing algorithms these days are so important. Having the best camera hardware looks like not enough. You need to have both decent hardware and excellent software optimization. I think getting Mi 11 Ultra for great camera experience is a no-brainer, but looks like Realme GT is a very solid choice, especially if you plan to mostly use the main camera, no matter in daytime or nighttime. And at the end, I hope that this video was helpful to you to figure out what's the difference between a very expensive and a very budget-friendly flagship killer. So if you need any of the samples for your own reference, kindly refer to the links in the description below the video, where I will also post links to each of the phones with the best prices I managed to find for you. Enjoy the rest of the day, say something nice in the comments below, take good care, gonna see you in the next episode, bye!